Hey everyone, and welcome back to MMA Alerts. Let's start the day with Jon Jones and Daniel Cormier going back and forth. Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones' long-running feud was without a doubt one of the best battles in the history of mixed martial arts. Not only did DC and Bones fight at a press meeting, but they had been talking trash about each other for years, both before and after their fights in 2014 and 2017. But in the last few years, it seems that Jones has ended his problems with DC. Note that we said seemed. What about Cormier, though? On the one hand, DC doesn't seem to be as excited about Jones as he used to be. But it looks like Cormier isn't going to start asking Jones to go out for drinks. Just recently, behind-the-scenes video of Jones' fight with Cyril Gane in 2023 was made public. It shows Bones being interviewed on the phone by DC and John Anik. Jones goes out of his way to ask DC how he is doing in the video. He is very polite and even friendly with his old enemy. Cormier was also friendly, but he seemed a little nervous and seemed to make references to Jones' well-known problems outside of the cage. Hello, John. How are you? Hey, I'm fine. That's fine. That's fine. Okay, let me ask you one thing. DC, I need to ask you something. Hey, man, how are you? I mean, it's good. Things are going great in my life. Thanks. I just wanted to let you know that, Daniel, I'm really proud of how your life is going. It looks great to me. You should be proud of everything you've done. Along with that, your growth looks great, which is very promising. A lot of people look up to you. So make sure you keep doing that. I'm on it. Yes, I'm working on it. Do you guys want to say something? Thanks. We don't usually talk like this, so it's nice to talk to you now. This is nice and cool. Thanks for your time, John and Dan. You too. Thanks, brother. If not today, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay, have a good night. Okay, guys, be careful. Also you. On top of that, Cormier gave the camera the finger after the conversation was over. That's it. What do you think? Has Jones and Cormier's long-running fight really come to an end? Now let's look at what Dustin Poirier's coach said in response to Arman Tsarukyan's statements. Recently, Arman Tsarukyan said some negative things about Dustin Poirier in Russian. This means that when he goes to the American top team, there might be some heated talks. It's not a surprise that some anti-fighters and coaches don't like what was said. You must know that Poirier just faced Islam Makhachev for the lightweight title at UFC 302 in New Jersey. Poirier had a lot of heart and toughness, and he pushed the champion for most of the fight. But in round 5, the champ choked him out. So Tsarukyan was asked to weigh in on the fight. When he talked to Russian reporters afterward, Makhachev won the first round, and I thought, damn, this Poirier is a real jerk. Then I saw Poirier get angry, Islam get tired, and the fight got more interesting. Poirier shocked me. I thought Islam was more strange because he got tired so fast and couldn't fight. We all know that Islam doesn't breathe very well during 5-round fights. This is his second 5-round fight, and he's already telling you how it ends. But I think Poirier just gave up. I don't know where Islam got the strength to choke. There were still 2.5 minutes left at that point in time. What's the point of giving up your neck? You should deal with it, get over it, or do something, but don't give up. We still have 2.5 minutes left. This is your last and most important fight. So that made boxing coach Daya Ali post through X, this guy fakes love and respect in the gym, but he takes a shot whenever he gets the chance to get up. He's a fool. For his part, Matush Gamron, who is also part of ATT and helped Poirier train his wrestling for the fight, kept his answer short. Arman is a jerk. It will be very interesting to see if Arman goes back to AT to train some more. The lightweight candidate doesn't always train at the famous Florida gym, so it wouldn't be a huge surprise if we didn't see him there again. There was almost no doubt that Kamaru Usman would beat Shavkat Rakhmonov. We still don't know who Kamaru is. A new video from a docuseries about the UFC shows that the company wanted Usman to fight Shavkat Rakhmonov at some point. It's unclear who Usman fights next or if he tries to win the welterweight title again. Umar Usman has fought twice since Edwards beat him for the middleweight title in 2022. He lost the second fight to Edwards by decision in March of last year. The fight Usman lost by majority decision before he went up to middleweight to fight Khamzat Chimaev in October of last year. On the other hand, the aforementioned documentary shows UFC boss Dana White and matchmaker Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard suggesting a fight between Usman and Rakhmonov. The fight was supposed to happen on a UFC show in Abu Dhabi, but when White brings the idea to Usman's manager Ali Abdelaziz, Abdelaziz says that Usman wants to fight Stephen Thompson instead. However, White and Khabib Nurmagomedov, who was sitting close, didn't like that news very much. It's hard to disagree with Khabib. As much as I like Wonderboy, Thompson is now over 40 years old and is no longer a contender for the title shot. On the other hand, Shavkat keeps picking off the resistance, which includes Mr. Thompson. As you might have guessed, Khabib wasn't the only one who wanted Usman vs. Rakhmonov to happen. Here are some of the responses that people on social media had to those clips. I think Usman still has one more run in him, but it's up to him. Khabib is making fun of Usman and Ali is shaking in his boots. It would be a great fight, but I don't think Usman would do it. Shavkat is really great. A person said that Colby Covington should fight Rakhmonov, who has never lost before. Like Usman didn't fight Khamzat. Khabib says this. Colby should be the one to fight Shavkat. Colby needs to win this fight if he wants to be important again at welterweight. He'll get back to the top that way. Colby is ducking and looking for fights that are easy instead. Boy wonder. You should know that this video was likely taken before Usman decided to fight Chimaev at the UFC event in Abu Dhabi last October, but you never know. Between now and then, Usman and Rakhmonov might meet and fight. News about UFC fights. Matchmakers for the UFC are still planning fights for the upcoming season as more bouts have been revealed or confirmed. Team Iridium just recently said that Danny Barlow, a middleweight, will fight Urso Medic at UFC Vegas 95 on August 10th. Lightweights Alan Nascimento and Jaffo Filio will fight on the same bill. Also, Marcel Dorf said that MMA King said featherweight challenger Calvin Kattar will exchange blows with Kyle Nelson at the UFC fight on September 7th. That definitely has the makings of a fight of the night. Last but not least, Dorf said that lightweights Chris Duncan and Nassim Sadikov will fight at the UFC event in Denver on July 13th. Let's talk about Mike Tyson vs. Jake Paul, which has been moved to November. The much talked about fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul will now happen on a different date than the one originally planned for July 20th. The famous fighter Iron Mike Tyson was supposed to fight the YouTuber turned boxer next month, but Tyson recently said that he had to pull out of the fight because of an ulcer flare-up, so the fight was moved to another date. Some people thought that the news meant that the fight would be moved to a different date, but it has now been confirmed that the fight will now happen on November 15th. Iron Mike posted this scary and threatening comment because of that. The wake for Jake has been moved to a new date. Tyson also sent this film clip and warning. There you have it. Do you think the fight will happen, or do you think the gods of combat sports will step in again? Valentina Shevchenko talks about the big fuss. The new season of The Ultimate Fighter has started, and already there is a lot of talk and debate about the show because of Valentina Shevchenko's controversial rule. This season, the legendary fighter and longtime flyweight queen is coaching against Alexa Grasso, who is currently the champion. Well, Shevchenko is in a lot of trouble because she doesn't let her athletes drink water while they're training. It was Valentina who gave this answer on the show. People have different opinions about the strategy online, which makes sense since drinking water is an important part of, living. She is in fact thirsty. When you get hit, your brain is more likely to bounce around inside your skull if you are dehydrated. This makes you more likely to get a concussion or other brain problems. Some people think this is much worse than it really is. It's stubborn disregard for duty. Yes, there is no scientific reason to not drink water while working out. LOL only means you can't train as long or as well and are more likely to get hurt. It's completely silly. You should never go without water. Okay, so don't drink too much between rounds if you're fighting, but this is just sad. It sounds like she doesn't even believe in this method. Stupid coach. She acts and talks like a coach, but not really one. Shevchenko was asked about the negative comments she's gotten since the show played while she was on SiriusXM. The bullet is following the rules. They don't have this analytical mind, so I just tell them they're wrong. And this is different because they only hear what someone says. It will be interesting to see how people in MMA react to Shevchenko's defense, especially the things she said about the USSR. What do you think? Is Shevchenko right about this? Sterling had to fight O'Halley because he had to. More video from the TV show about the UFC has been released. In it, cameras record interesting talks that happened before Aljamain Sterling's fight with Sean O'Halley in August of last year. You may remember that Sterling said before the fight that he would have liked to fight O'Halley later in the year instead of at UFC 292 because he wasn't fully healthy. He defended his title by beating Henry Cejudo at UFC 288, which happened in May. He is now no longer a bantamweight. That made Dana White say bad things about Sterling and say the Funkmaster was hurting his business. Well, White said those things again in video of the show that has been made public. It also shows Hunter Campbell, a manager at the UFC, talking to Sterling and telling him that the company would understand if he didn't want to fight. Look it over. I'm still taking care of injuries I got years ago. When I call for a fight, Aljo's first words are, if my body holds up now that you have friends going, should I buy plane tickets, hotel rooms, and tickets to Boston? Because this person might not show up. Either you're in the fight or you're not. It's really against my will, but I'm going to fight anyway. Someone called to say that Aljo sounds like he doesn't want to fight. Aljo is one of those people who can't move. I just want us to agree that you don't want to fight Aljo. You don't need to fight. I'm not okay with. I guess from where I stand, it makes me look like this guy can't get out of his own way. He messed things up a bit. Seriously, I don't understand why you would do that to someone who has always done what you asked of them. But I can tell you that you're at your best. You really look great. You have the chance to meet his fans, which he has already built through this event. You could use the stage and the extra attention from the media, but it seems like you're working against them. I fully understand your point. I still think what you said, communication right away felt a bit like it was caught off guard. Do you get what I mean? Dana made the fight happen right then and there like I just fought. I know it's a great chance. Just like I said at the start, my only thought was, damn, I wish we had talked. That was it. Okay, man. Okay, this week, good talk. Fighters often have a lot of fears. They start to believe that they want me to lose. They need him to win. They don't like me to win and want to push this on us so that we don't get to choose who wins and who loses. How does any of that video make you feel? Not the same as before. Had Aljamain been pushed to fight even though it wasn't in his best interest to do so? These are the things that MMA fans said. This makes Sean's W look even worse. Aljo wasn't in good shape. He was hurt and not fully recovered. They tried to talk this man out of pulling out because he was sick at the time. Master's a hero for just making a bad choice. For the UFC and Dana White, this guy was like Isha Winner who fought every 3.5 months and never had time to rest or get medical care. When he doesn't want to fight, she gaslights him. Oh, come on. You can tell this is as close to setting up a fight as you can get with just 2 eyes, 2 ears, and no brain. Definitely set the odds against one fighter on purpose and threw open the doors for the other. Shameful. Dana is such a jerk. I really like that this is being shown because it gives fans a better look at how the UFC really works. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for latest fight updates.